And you've touched on hot flashes there. So when I'm working with pre and post menopausal women, I use mindset, nutrition, and movement to help them to manage their symptoms. I don't really like using the word symptom because it sort of invokes a kind of condition or kind of illness side of things, but it's effects of the menopause, isn't it? And we can almost exacerbate the effects of the menopause for ourselves. So I use mindset, nutrition, and movement to help with that. But a question I get asked a lot is, what can I do to manage or get rid of my hot flashes? So what would be your answer to that, Hannah?
Well, and this is where the big difference between sort of media portrayal of herbal medicine getting rid of hot flushes and where seeing a medical herbalist and getting treatment for hot flushes really differ, because most people have come across sage as a herb that can be helpful for helping to reduce, or in some cases completely get rid of symptoms of hot flushes or night sweats or any of the flushing symptoms that people can get.
And some of these are just available in supermarkets.
Yeah, absolutely. Some are available in supermarkets. Sometimes people pick their own if they've got some in their garden. It's just one of those herbs that's generally known as sort of the menopause herb. And whilst to a point that's true, the problem comes because every single body is different. And quite often when you meet people that say that they've tried either drinking sage tea or a sage supplement, and they say, oh, it hasn't worked, oh, it's not working. The reason why it's usually not working is because it's not suited to their particular constitution or the way that their body is. And once you start talking, you really get a sense of okay, well, that really hasn't worked because of that, but there are absolutely other herbs that can come into play there to help regulate temperature control. But sage is probably the most common one that I hear people talk about, and I do use it, but not for everyone.
No. And I think that's the thing, actually. You've sort of touched on it a little bit here, and we'll expand on this shortly. But, the way I always kind of try and explain it is, I can't handle alcohol myself. I'm classed as below lightweight. And I'm guessing that it's the same for people in terms of how they respond to herbs. Some people will need a much lower dose, some will need a higher dose, and some will need a combination of different approaches.
Yeah, that's absolutely spot on. And I mean, as a herbalist, we're quite lucky because we've got such a broad range of different preparations that we can use. So you mentioned tinctures there. So tinctures are, for those that don't know, an alcohol water extract, and they don't suit everyone. Some people can't tolerate alcohol. Some people can't have alcohol for health reasons or for religious reasons, and that's absolutely fine. We work with what people can take. So there are plenty of other things that we can use, like bespoke tea blends, sometimes distilled aromatic waters. We can blend powders for people. I'll put those powders into capsules, and sort of a number of other preparations. But it's about fitting the type of medicine to the person as well as the herbs. So that's kind of another beauty really about broadness and the sort of scope of herbal medicine, really.